Hey, this is Jeff with The Building Boys. By trade, I'm a chiropractor, and I own other real estate ventures such as extended stay suites and long-term rentals. One day a week, I grow my passive income portfolio. In these videos, I will be working alongside my father building our next passive income stream, a senior citizen fourplex. Watch our videos and repeat the process for yourself so you can become financially free.
All right, we got Ashton and myself here putting in windows. So we started with putting in half-inch little chunks of OSB just so we have a lift to set the window uncomfortably. Ashton's going to go on the inside. I'm going to be on the out. He's just going to look for just pretty well symmetrical gapping all around the perimeter. And then I'll tack a couple nails in and then we will measure. So go ahead and watch. So we're using 1/2-inch roofing nails going through this nail thin. Got it? So we're just going to put a couple nails in for right now. I'm going to stop right there. All right, so we want to measure just to make sure this stayed square. 51 and 51. All right, so then Ashton from the inside is going to open the window, make sure it opens up smoothly. These are double hung, so both will open. Now he's going to pop them out. You lift it up. Yep. Close. Lift. Okay. We're just going to pop them out to make sure that they open and close. This is how you can clean them from the inside. Okay, so then I'm going to go around and nail these later, but then you go around and put nails all throughout the fin. You can probably skip every other. But we'll go on the inside. All right, hope you guys can see this. This is just the edge of the window. So we're going to come in. We want to make sure that this gap in the window is fairly symmetrical. We don't want to have this gap being too wide on either side. So it looks actually pretty darn good. But we do want to put another shim. Now we got a pretty good space, so it'll take us a couple shims. Better speed up, Ashton's. All right. Go. Now, so that everything's pretty much right where I want it, so I don't want to get too crazy with these shims. I just want to make it a little firmer in here. Okay. I'm not going to nail these or anything because after we spray foam this will become really rigid. We can just come through with a zipper tool and zip those right off. Just 1/4-inch underlayment and then also just shims. Kind of eating up our shims pretty quick, so we'll have to go get some more. So I had to cut one of these shims or else it just was not working. There we go. All right, so some people use a lot of tape here with like what they call like zip tape. With that zip system, it's like with the green OSB on the outside. I was going to do that, but I just could not get over the price of like $200 a roll of tape. And after we foam this crack, this is going to be pretty much airtight, okay? After the drywall gets brought up to here, I think I will put an edging of tape right here where the crack of the drywall comes, to kind of seal where the drywall comes in, because sometimes you can get a little bit of air leak, you know, behind that tie vac, and then all of that gets pushed to the edge of the drywall, which is around the windows. So I'm not going to put that tape all around here. You know, number one, we're putting tape on the outside of the window, you know, as another waterproofing effect, which is also making it airtight. And then we're foaming this, which is going to make it airtight. So we're just going to put some of that tie vac tape or maybe zip tape the 4-inch stuff and just go from here and wrap around about an inch of the drywall to cover up this crack from the drywall and the jamb. You don't want to come out too far though, because you're going to have, you know, your casing trim around the window. So you don't want to have that tape back that far. So, because sometimes if you notice in the middle of winter, you'll be standing by a window and this is all warm and no air, but just right along the edges, sometimes you'll just feel a little bit of a draft. So we're going to try and fix that. All right, you guys. So I want to talk about after we get the nail flange nailed, we then use this flashing tape. Start at the bottom, run your piece, then you go side, side, and then the top. I have not rolled this yet because I can't find mine, so I had to order a new one. And I'm gonna roll this and make sure this is really tight, okay? Should be in the mail tomorrow or back to my place. And just get this as tight as you possibly can. So if there's any chance of rain getting behind the siding, it does not get behind the flashing. Okay, we're on the inside now. I got the shims in everywhere. This just kind of firms things up. So if you got it a little bit wide, you just kind of want to watch this crack. You know, if it's pretty well uniform, you don't want to shove these shims in too much. I put these in just for another little bit of support, you know, so if there's no back and forth of the window, I'll just take a zipper tool and just cut these off after this foam is dry. I then take this foam and I spray it on between the window and the Tyvek. Now, for the next duplex, I will do things a little bit differently. I'll make sure that this Tyvek is tight all the way down. There's a couple spots where, here, see how the Tyvek just got weird, or I don't know what happened, but I started spraying on the back side of the Tyvek and I didn't get right between the Tyvek and the window. So there's a couple spots where I'm not perfect there. So what I am gonna do to try and fix this is after I get this all cut, you know, roto zip these shims off and this is all flat, I'm gonna take more of that black flashing tape that I have on the outside and I'm gonna run it right here and just a hair onto the window, you know, like 3/16 or something. I don't want to get too crazy because I don't want that to be visible, because we will put an extension jamb here. But I do want to make sure I have a good airtight gap here. Other thing I just did here was I ran my Cat 6. So my tenant did mention she wants a phone for, you know, like that I fall and I can't get up button. So we ran Cat 6 for a phone line. We're just running it all this to our mechanical room in the back so that I have complete control. I know where the splices are. Ran coax for a potential TV spot, and another one. I ran 2 separate cables. I thought about just running one and then splitting it, but first of all, that gets really, really tight in there with a splitter. And if you don't have a power splitter, which is a splitter that has AC power to it, you weaken the signal drastically. So the last thing I want to do is do all this work and have weak signal on this because I split it. So I'll have a splitter in the mechanical room. All right, and the foam I use is, this stuff's amazing. Sound foam, door and window. This does not get crazy expandy. You know, the last thing you want to do is spray foam and have it just grow. It'll actually push up against your window and change the shape of your window. You don't want that. And the nice thing about this is I just used a little bit of this can. Then you can just put this little knob on it and it just keeps this whole air tight. So when I do the windows, I take that knob off and away we go.